George Gerbner, the founder of the cultural environment movement, claimed that television was a dominant force in shaping modern society. He focused his theory, known as cultivation theory, mainly with violence on television. The theory basically states that people form opinions about topics based on what they see on television being where they obtain the majority of their information. An example would be a person who believes New York to be a dangerous place, even though he or she has never been there. This person has, though, watched many episodes of the show Law and Order, which is based in New York, and so has formed an opinion of New York being a dangerous place based solely on television watching. So according to cultivation theory, a scene from a show my kids like to watch called Kickin' It, as well as a factual news footage scene, might cause my tweens to think that high school and high school lunchrooms in particular are a dangerous place since they have never been to one in real life.
Okay, you probably shouldn't have done that.
First place. This is happening in Sacramento, California. Video capturing a fight breaking out in the lunchroom. The school's principal, Don Ross, he gets wrestled and thrown to the ground by a student. He gets right back up, tries to break up the fight again. In the end, you have 3 students from Florin High School being arrested. Officials say 3 school employees.
As I said before, violence is the main aspect that Gerbner and others focused on when using cultivation theory, but it can be applied to so much more. Romance, materialism, life satisfaction, body image, and much more. The less a person experiences things in the real world, and the more they see it on the television screen, the more likely they will start to treat what the TV shows them as fact. According to Shrum, Lee, Burroughs, and Rindfleisch in 2011, heavy television viewers feel alienated more than light viewers, and are more likely to think their lives are lousy. Viewers like this tend to not explore and experience the world we live in, so they obtain much information about the world from entertainment. They might learn about romance from shows like 90210. They might learn about materialism and life satisfaction from the many reality shows that there are. They will undoubtedly learn about body image from almost every person on television, and in comparing themselves to them will feel abnormal. If they did venture into the world and explore it as much as they do television, then they would see that they are the normal ones, and that the people and things depicted on television are abnormal. The main thing I took away from my study of cultivation theory was that almost all the studies and articles revolved around television viewing. This definitely needs to be re-examined to include more than just television. Today, we are not just limited to getting our entertainment on television. We view it on computers, tablets, smartphones, even video game systems. Also, we don't just use traditional television programming to receive our entertainment. We now have access to an unlimited supply of internet content for entertainment. There's Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Roku, Apple TV, YouTube, and many more. I would even argue that video games today provide a new level of entertainment that depict a world in whatever view the creator wishes. Storytelling in video games is on par with movies. Many people play the games for the story only. Today, top-rate actors and others are employed to make these video game stories rival the best movies. One interesting thing that I uncovered while learning about cultivation theory is that many creators of these television shows for tweens, children ages 8 to 14, many of them create high school scenery, create a show with a high school background, with high school age boys and girls as their subjects, as their main characters. And these people are all created the scenery is all created to give these tweens something to look up to. It gives them something to aspire to, something to show them this is what high school is going to be like. This is how I should be. I should be like Jack on Kicking It. I should be handsome and dashing and fast and physical and muscular. I should be like Kim and be beautiful and wear wonderful clothes. I should drive nice cars. I should have a spotless locker. All these things that are unrealistic, really. These tweens are given a scenario that just is not realistic. They're given people that aren't realistic. If they went to a high school, they would be very unlikely to see people that are this handsome and this beautiful, cars this great in the parking lot, school this clean. So the best thing to do is experience your world. It's great to you can watch television. They can watch television, of course. They can play video games. They can get on YouTube. They can go on Hulu, Netflix, do all this stuff that I've talked about. But they also need to experience the world. Their parents need to help them experience the world. Their teachers, people that help nurture them in life, they all need to help them experience the world so that they know that things on entertainment are not what life really is. But if they're exposed to that, to entertainment, more than they are to life, then it's just going to become in their head that this is what life is like. I do need to be this beautiful, or this handsome. I do need to have a nice car, or else I'm not normal. I'm not a good kid. I'm an ugly kid compared to Jack, compared to Kim. And this is where life comes into play. And this is why they need to experience life so that they can see that they're just like everybody else. They're special, they're different, and they don't need to look exceptional. They don't need to have nice things, and they don't need to follow television's lead. Just follow their lead. One thing I like to do with my kids, and I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, but they watch a lot of television. I'm not going to lie to you, but I use television as a starting point for a conversation, especially when it's something that I see that they're heavily involved in. When they see, like, I'll use the show Kicking It again as an example, since I'm using that a lot in this presentation and in my paper. But in one scene where there was a bully episode, and Jack thwarts the bullies with his friends, but I used that after my children watched that episode. I used it as a starting point for a conversation about bullies, how they would react to a bully, how they would react to a bully if a friend was being bullied, how if they would bully somebody, and when is the right time to tell a teacher or a parent, or just all sorts of things right off of that episode, when all Jack and his friends really did was beat up the bullies. And we explored so many different options than just fighting the bullies, about telling teachers and parents and other people, getting other people involved, just using words, just talking to the bullies, and using different tactics than just fighting. And it was nice. And I've done that multiple times with them on multiple different shows, even with my 4-year-old, with shows like SpongeBob or Mickey Mouse Club. I do the same thing when something interests him. I ask him questions about it, and I interact with him. I don't just let the TV be his interaction. And I think this is something that all parents should do with their children. Don't let TV be a babysitter. Let it be a starting point for a conversation. And that's how you start to get life involved with television, entertainment, life, your kids, people. It can all be intertwined. It doesn't just have to be television and viewer.